Hello, welcome to another After Effects video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you 3 different ways to create a new comp from footage. So we're going to be using these images that I've had before. So number one way is going to be if we just drag this buttercup and we're going to drag it over this button, and you'll notice that it allows you to do that. And what will happen is you can see we've got the composition there now. So we can click there and we can access both the composition and the layer and the layer itself. If there are multiple layers, we'll be able to access those just simply by clicking on the different layers in the timeline. And we can close these boxes by pressing Control W. So we can close that layer. Control W, see it goes to none. We can open that again. And instead we can close the composition, Control W, and you can see it goes to none. So that's one way of doing it. Okay, so the second method of doing it is if we can actually take 2 images. So we've got the buttercup and this Drosera here. So you can see they're different sizes, the images. So what we're going to do is we're going to shift them, and then we're going to drag them over to the button here. And you'll notice here we get new composition from selection. Initially we've got the value single composition is selected, and I believe the duration, you can change that to whatever you like. I think it defers to the previous time you've done this. But that duration is fine. And what we can do is use the dimensions, and you can see this is actually a larger image, the Drosera. So if we use that image, we can press OK, and you can see we're going to get one comp with multiple layers here. So it's going to put them all, and this is actually the size of the comp, the Drosera. The buttercup itself is going to be smaller than the size of the comp. We can verify that by going to the composition settings, and you can see that the width and the height is exactly the same as the image. Okay, if you go to Window and then you go to Render Queue, you can see you can get this button here. You're going to get this panel over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to just highlight all of our images here, and we're going to drag them over into the render queue. And look what happens in the project window. You'll see that as soon as I drag them into the render queue, an individual comp was made for each of the items there. So you can see we have our ravine, we have our buttercup, and you'll see as I select each of the comps, they're actually loading onto the timeline. So we can do 3, we can do 4. And this arrow is now active, so we can access the various different comps by clicking on them. And again, we can access the layer information in that way as well. Now let's try pressing Control, Alt, Shift, and N. And you'll see what will happen here. Let's just get rid of the render queue. Is we're going to get two different comps. Now the right one is locked. So you can see it's already locked. And the left one here, we can still switch between all the different things. And you'll notice that when we click on this, we'll be able to switch between each of the different compositions in any way we want. But here you can see only one is allowed. So that's just a little shortcut if you want to be able to compare 2 different comps side by side. And that will do for this video, so thanks for watching.